So we're going to be going through questions 11 to 15 for the WASSCE Mathematics June 2024. Now, question number 11. An interior angle of a regular polygon is 168. Find the number of sides of the polygon. So just a few things we need to remember here are the sum of angles, the formula for the sum of angles in a polygon, that will be n minus 2 times 180, where n is the number of sides, yeah? Number of sides. So they told us that an interior angle, that is just one of them, not the total, but just one of them. So it means that in order for us to get the interior angle of a regular polygon, we simply divide the total or the sum of angles by the number of sides. Okay, for example, let me just give an example. Let's say you have a pentagon. I'll just use an example quickly. It has 5 sides, all right? So that will be 5 times 5 minus 2, sorry. Okay, that will be 5 minus 2 times 180. And that will be 3 times 180, and that will be 540. So it means that the sum of angles in a pentagon is 540. But then what is the value of each angle? Let's say this is a regular pentagon. Regular being that all the sides and angles are equal. Okay, so in a regular pentagon, all the angles are equal. So what will now be the value of each angle? It simply be 540 divided by 5, because there are going to be 5 angles in total, right? This gives us 108. So it's the same idea here, all right? So we'll have the sum of interior angles in a polygon divided by the number of sides, which then gives us this 168. So we can cross multiply. Okay, this now we now have n minus 2 times 180 is equal to 168 times n, which is 168n. Now we can expand this. Okay, 180 times n, that will be 180n, minus 2 times 180 is 360, is equal to 168n. Okay, we can rearrange this. We can move the 168 to the left hand side, becomes minus. Move the 360 to the right hand side, becomes a plus. Okay, and once we do that, we have 180n minus 168n is equal to 360. Divide, subtract first. It's just to give us 12n is equal to 360. Divide both sides by 12. Our n is 36 divided by 12 is 3. So then we have 0 again. So this is 30. So it means that this polygon has 30 sides, and each of these 30 sides has an angle of 30 angles rather. Okay, it has 30 sides and 30 angles, and each of these angles is 168 degrees. Okay, so fairly simple here. So the topic of this one is some of angles in a polygon. So you can read that up. I'll make more videos on those ones. Next one we have this. So if 3x minus 2y is equal to minus 5 or negative 5, x plus 2y equals 9. So find the value of this. All right, so for this one, I'm going to use elimination method, because you can see we have almost similar coefficients. So I can just add them, because you can see their signs are different. This is minus 2y, this is plus 2y. So it means that I can add this equation 1 and equation 2. I can add both equations, yeah? So 3x plus 4x, I'll get 3x plus x. Okay, 3x plus x gives me 4x. Okay, minus 2y plus 2y gives me 0. I can ignore it. Minus 5 plus 9 gives me 4. The same thing as saying 9 minus 5, which is 4. Okay, so 9 minus 5 is 4. So 4x is equal to 4. So I think we know where this is going. So we divide both sides by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, so x is equal to 1. Now we know what x is. How do we get our y? We can simply substitute 1 for x in equation 2. Okay, so this gives us, so we have x plus 2y is equal to 9. It becomes 1 plus 2y is equal to 9. We can move the 1 to the right hand side. Remember, it's going to become minus, so that becomes minus 1. And we have 2y is equal to 9 minus 1. So 2y is equal to 8. Divide both sides by 2. Y is equal to 4. So it means that our x is 1, y is 4. We can now put it into this. So we have 1 minus 4 over 1 plus 4. 1 minus 4 will be minus 3. 1 plus 4 is 5. So our answer is minus 3 over 5, like this. Or sometimes in questions, they can write it something like this. If minus will be on its own, and then you just have 3 over 5, something like this. But it's still going to be the same answer, minus 3 over 5. Or negative 3 over 5. If that's how you want to call it. It's all good. Let's see. Next one. A variable. So this is partial. This topic or this question is under what we call partial variables. Okay, it's similar to your regular variables, just that maybe you have to do some addition and all that. Okay, so I'll just explain it. I'll just give you as it is. Now, W varies partly as M. Okay, so we have W varies partly as M is equal to, and partly inversely as P. So which of the following represents the relation with K1 and K2? So I'll use K1 with M and K2 with P because I'm doing it in order. So W will be equal to K1M because it's a direct relationship, although it's a part relationship, plus this one is inverse, so this will be K2 over P. And this is the relationship. This is all you have to do. Okay, so I think I'll make a video on explaining what partial variables are, like the whole thing. But yeah, this is your answer. I don't need any other way, unless you want to make anything else the subject of the formula, but W will be equal to K1M plus K2 over P. Then you can, yeah, I think this is fine. All right. So next one, a cylindrical metallic barrel. A cylindrical metallic barrel of height 2.5. So let's visualize it quickly. Okay. Height 2.5 meters. Radius 0.25, 0.245. So it's closed at one end, okay? We need to take note of this. Find correct one decimal place the total surface area. Now for a cylinder, the surface area, the formula for surface area is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. Or if you want to factorize it, it will be 2 pi r bracket r plus h. Very simple. But there's a problem, not a problem, but just something we need to note here. It is closed at one end. It means that one end has a circular surface and one end is open. So just imagine if you put your hand here, you won't be touching a circular surface. You'll be, your hand will go inside until it's maybe, depending on how long your hand is, you to touch the surface here. So it means that we only have one circular surface. Because when you talk about this formula, it's based on the fact that you have three surfaces, the two circular surfaces and this other surface here. When you join them together to form a cylinder. But in this case, we just have one circular surface because the question said it is closed at one end. So it means that we now have pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. Instead of having 2 pi r squared here. You just have pi r squared because we're only dealing with one surface. So sometimes you should look at the questions. There are certain English or certain words that the question will use to sort of, I won't say confuse you, but you know. All right, so let's answer the question. We have our radius is 0.245 meter. Our height, not diameter, our height is 2.5 meters. So we just need to apply all this. And what will be our pi? So for me personally, I like to use 20/7. It feels more accurate for me. Okay, it feels more accurate for me, especially when doing theory questions. But then some people can also use 3.14. I think you will get this very close answers, especially if it's an objective question. But I'll just use 20/7 first. So we have 20/7 times 0.245, okay, squared plus 2 times 22/7 times 0.245 times 2.5 meters. Okay, so let's find 0.245 squared. So I'll just do everything together. 0.245 squared. And then I'll just multiply it with 22 divided by 7. Okay, so 0.245 squared, and then, okay, this one done. All right, so times 22 divided by 7. All right, so we have 0.1886. I'll just use for decimal place for now. Okay, plus this one we have 2. Okay, we have 2 times 22/7. Okay, times, because I'm actually using my calculator right now, I want to do it live. 0.245 0.245 times 2.5. Okay, that gives me 3.85. Okay, so I'll still keep just hold on, I'll still keep it to for decimal places for now. Okay, so we have 3.85 plus 0.188668. 5 plus 13. This is 10, so this is 0, 4. We have 4.0386. So again, I like to use more decimal places because of accuracy, and then since it's over one decimal place, take this one decimal place. The number is 0. This is 3 after it, so this will be 4.0 square meters. 4.0 meters squared. That will be my answer. Okay, 4.0 meters squared. Yeah, that will be the answer. 4.0 a meter squared or 0 square meters, depending on how you want to say it. All right, so next question. Let's go to the next question. Would be number 15. Make R the subject of the relation. Okay, so what we have here is V equals pi r, or pi l, sorry, pi l r squared, big R squared minus R squared, small r squared. Okay, we want to make big R subject to the formula. So the first thing, we get rid of pi l. We could divide both sides by pi l because that's the easiest thing we can do right now. Okay, so what we end up having is, okay, we end up having is v over pi l is equal to r big R squared minus small r squared. So we can now move this small r squared to the left hand side, now becomes plus. Okay, so it means that v over pi l minus small r squared is equal to r squared, big R squared. So I can write it and say big R squared is equal to v over pi l minus small r squared. Now to find r, all we have to do is square root both sides. Okay, and by doing so, because we have r squared, but we're looking for r, we want r to be the subject of the formula. So this now becomes, so square root cancels square, so we have r is equal to square root of everything, okay, because the square root affects everything there, v over pi l minus r squared. Sorry about the way I draw my pi. So people have said, why do I draw my pi like that? I think it's just convenience, I guess. So that will be v over, so this is a plus, sorry. So sorry, I don't know why I made this mistake. It's a plus. I'm so sorry. Okay, this is a plus. This is a plus. I don't know what is a plus. So it's also good. I mean, this is important because sometimes, so this is why it's always good to go through the things that, like, after sometimes you're sure you got the answer right, but when you now go back and I say, oh, I made a very slight mistake. So things like this can happen. Initially, I said plus when this would change to plus, but then I now wrote minus again. So it means that someone, we're not above mistakes. So when you write your exam, so it's always good to go through. Okay, so this will be your answer. So thank you again. I hope I've been able to explain this very well. Feel free to send me your questions, whatever questions you have.